Julfer9211 coming at you with another video. There was a subscriber. I don't know if it was yesterday or today, earlier in the morning, because I get a lot of messages from the subscribers either on my email or the online stores or on my phone or on eBay, and I get confused to who's who and what's what or when. But they wanted to know the profile of Branded. Now, I had already warned people, Branded and the Dark Magician, because I go off by percentages. People don't understand that. Um, People who play YCS understand what I mean. People who don't play, they don't. Um, the percentage means where the deck stands. So in order for a deck to be good, it has to go past 80% ratio win rate. Uh, that is what you need to sometimes go to your like top 30 YCS or go second place um, local tournament champion. Anything under that, you could do really bad. So the Branded Dark Magician, they tell you it's good. It's not as good as they tell you it is because they substitute a lot of hand traps. And believe me, it just slows the deck down. And the Branded support is not enough to build on power. Um, like the board can be braked. You can be broken. It's too much work to establish 2 to 3 negates, and Anaconda made it easy. That's why I played it. But as soon as Anaconda got banned, I just went back to my regular build, the top tier style. You can play an Invoked engine. I guarantee Dark Mission Invoke will be a lot stronger. You'll have 5 to 6 negates. I have already showcased that deck before, but somebody wanted the Branded, so here it is. You have the Dark Magicians, and I'm gonna click on them so that you can read the cards too. You can always rewind the video. And then Dark Magician Girl, and then you got Aluber. You can read the information there. You got Fallen of Albaz. Then you got the Dark Magicians, the Soul Servant Spellbook Engine. Then you have Seravis, the Ancient and Ascended, and then you have the Illusion of Chaos. You can play 3 Branded in the deck. The reason why I pulled 2 out, if you notice at the very bottom down here, look, I have the rest of the cards. The reason why I formatted it like this was because somebody asked me. They said it was too complicated for them. Like they tried the version and they were stuck with all the cards in their hand. They didn't know what to do. Like there was too much things going on, and he didn't know the deck. And I guess he froze. Like he didn't know what to do. So I built this version for him. It's less complicated. It's just a solid Dark Magician. And if Branded comes out, it comes out. And if it doesn't, nobody cares. It's able to hold its own because it can bring a Dragoon and Dragon Knight first turn. And you already know it's able to draw up to 20 cards the first turn, even through negation. So it's a really good deck. If you want to play the old format that I had, I would bring in one of this, the Despia Tragedy. And obviously there's a sequence that you play, and you can bring the 3 Branded back into the deck. They're down here. And then if you want, you can play the second Aluber, and then here it is. And then you would have the Branded opening on top of that. You can cut the cards that people hate, like Preparation, Restage, the right hand, and that's it. Other than that, I have to keep going through the deck because people were asking about the cards. They didn't know what they were. I guess they had never seen them before. So you got Branded Fusion, and then you have Dark Magic Attack, Veil, Spellbook Engine, Itamayas. Why does it work? Because of Illusion of Chaos. So Illusion of Chaos will search out the dark, the Soul Servants. Soul Servants will special summon a Dark Magician. So if you count it, you have 1, 2, 3 Magician Souls, and then 4, 5 with the two illusion of chaos because they count as it because you're using those to get to it. So you have 5, and then Veil 6, and then 7, 8 with the Eternal Souls. They all bring a Dark Magician out. So it's a lot of ways to get to him, and some of them they're not once per game. Like the Eternal Souls, he can keep coming back every turn as long as they don't pop, and if they do, you can get it back and redo it all over again. So in a duel, I think I have the max of the world. I think I brought like 13 Dark Magicians out in one turn. There was a guy, and he had a lot of defense, and I guess he was playing like a top tier. I think I have the video on my channel, and the guy just kept popping it with kaijus and all kinds of stuff, and I just kept bringing the back and back and back. It was like endless, and he lost in the end. It was funny, but yeah, the itemize is relevant now. Then you don't have Anaconda, so you're gonna want to play it. People tell you like, no, it's bricky, don't play it. Well, then guess what? When you play, if you need to discard it, dump it if you don't like it. If the card, and people tell you like, why play it if you're gonna dump it? And you're gonna notice people are never happy. All they do is cry and complain. And then you go to their channel, and they have no content. And if they do, they don't even go through one negation. I'm telling you right now, as a staple, like I've always said through all these years, if your deck is not able to go through 2 to 3 negations per turn, guess what? The one who's dueling together with the deck, they both suck. And then here's the funny thing. Like, people are like, well, you suck. They tell me I suck. Guess what? I have videos where I go through 4 negations in one turn, and I still win. I have a lot of videos where I have brick hands and I unbrick and win. Why? Because my decks are set up to work even with bricks. They're already formatted for it. And then also, since May 2019, I'm the only one, and I'm bold to say I'm the only one in planet Earth to be able to draw 20 cards with the Dark Magician deck first turn through negations, and I have videos to prove it. Way back then, and then recent videos. I'm the originator of that. I'm the one who taught it to Z Holy and all the other team members. I'm the original guy that started it all. I also started the no hand traps 3 years ago, which is eventually ended up being the YCS format. And I'm also the original guy who went with no revs, no anaconda, and then I also cut the rods, and I still made the deck work. And it's been the future. Like everything I do, it predicts the future of what's gonna happen with Dark Magician. So then here's let's finish up the deck. With that, we have the spellbook, upstart, preparations. Preparation draws the Illusion of Chaos or Saravas. If they try to hit you with the Imperm or Effect Veiler, you just trigger it and it negates it. So it's pretty tight. And then also, you can use the preparation if you have a way to search out a Dark Magician, which the whole deck does that. And Secrets of Dark Magic, because the preparation will get you to the Saravas, and that automatically will get you to a Dragonite and Dragoon. That's how I'm able to do it in the first turn. People, they play some of these cards, but they don't even tell you how they work. You know why? Because they don't know. Branded, you want to play 3. I'm playing 1 on this build because of the guy that had issues. You can play the 3, so don't worry about it. Just put them back. They're on the bottom of the screen. And then 1 Dark Ruler, no more. If you put 1, you can main deck it instead of having it in the side, because a lot of people, they carry the cards in their side. But right now, the way the format is, you're going to need 1. And if you don't need to use it, then just discard it. Remember, Magician Souls lets you discard spells and traps to draw cards. So if the deck's already versatile and set up that if you don't want to, then just use it for that and get the draws. After that, you have 3 Soul Servants. I know a lot of the champion decks and like OCG, they're switching to 2. That's fine. As long as you get 80% win rate or higher, you're good. This deck like I said before, like I didn't lie, I was being honest. Compared to a lot of the other people, I'm pretty honest. The deck is somewhere around 70% win rate. It's not good enough. And people are like, oh, it's because you suck at building decks. No, I'm actually doing a lot better than the other guys because the other guys haven't told you. And I'm being very honest. Like, think about this. How come they all have branded like since 4 months ago? How come nobody has videos of dueling with it other than Dark Paladin? Why? You never thought about that? You know why? You know why nobody has of winning any duels like in real life, like at their locals or YCS? Do you wonder why? You should already figure it out by now because the deck sucks. It's not as powerful. When it had the Anaconda, the build that I did was good. It was like an 80% win rate because it was always a Dragoon first turn, so I was having 4 to 5 negates. But right now it's not like that. So I had to switch out of it. But people want to try the branded Dark Magician anyways. And especially the one that I built because I'm able to draw 20 cards on top of the branded build on top of it. So it's pretty sick deck. And you know, people come here because they know you don't find any of the content, any of the information, any of the profiles that I do. You'll never find them anywhere else. And these decks are like way old formats. I just update them to the current market and they're pretty sick. People who try them, they do excellent. And you know, like as I said before, I kept telling Loza for years until he did the Dark Magician Invoked, and people have hated me for that. And you know what? He almost won his locals and he said it was a piece of cake. But he forgot to put Dark Magic Attack like I told him to, and he lost to a Mystic Mine. The Mystic Mine he win again. The Mystic Mine that he went against is weak. I went against the 2000, I think, 17 or 18 world champion. I have the video on my channel, and I smoked the deck. The guy had 5 negates in the first turn, and I went through all of the negates, and I still beat him. And this was like, this is like 2-3 years ago. It's on my channel. Look it up. Like people think that, oh, you did it yesterday. No, I'm telling you, all of these decks that people are scared of, they're trash. Drytron, all of them. So, Secrets of Dark Magic, you got Called by the Grave. I never used to play it, but people who buy decks from me, they always cry that they want it in there. So I started including it because it seems like it's really popular. For me, I don't really care. Because I never even use it. It doesn't matter to me. Like they negate something, my deck's already built to go past it. But people love the card, so I just put it in there. All the profiles that I sell, obviously, people get a Call by the Grave in it. So the restage, you know, I taught this to the world. People are like, "Oh, we used to play before, and it was weak." No. You used to play before, and you were weak. I play it, and I win. See, there's a difference. So restage, what it used to do for us before it was banned, I would normal, they would negate and then pop the card. And then I would special. I would special, and then they would negate that one. And then all I would do was restage, bring back the monster back to the field that was destroyed, and I would re-trigger its effect. I'll show you an example, like Magician Souls. When it would come out, they would use like the spy effect, and they would negate and pop it, and they would send it to the graveyard. I just play restage and do the whole sequence all over again. And then it works good with the Magician Souls because it's an expensive card. And when you pay a lot of money, like if you have an expensive card, expensive house, you have to squeeze all the dollars out of it because, I mean, you spend a lot. It should give you a lot. So Magician Souls was an expensive card. It's not as expensive, but still, it's one of those top tier cards. What I do is I use it to bring it, and then it sends it to the graveyard. And when the Ash Blossom, guess what? In the graveyard, it triggers, and it either gets you a left hand or a right hand to your hand. Now, to be honest with you, if you're playing in the local in the local tournament or the YCS format, you can't play a left and the right hand because there's too much going on and it can break. I'm being very honest. The restage never does, but the the right and the left hand can. So you don't play it when you're playing like a top tier style, but when you're playing like a meta destroyer, it's fine. You could play basically the left hand. It'll search the left hand when it goes to the graveyard. So they negated your effect to draw, and then you override it because it still gets it. Because the card says when it goes to the graveyard, it draws the card that you want left or right hand. So it's so sick. Also, when they don't stop you, it's so sick because you draw the two cards plus you draw the third one. And then you play it, and that's gonna be going forward one spell and one trap the first one. So it's so nasty. In your first turn, with like my regular Dark Magician deck, in my first turn, I can establish 3 to 4 negations. You can check it out in Master Duel 2. I do it all the time. 3 to 4 negations in the first turn with no Dragoon. So basically, the board is more broken than Dragoon. Like I don't even need Dragoon because I'm already negating like 4 things the first turn with no Dragoon. Like it's pretty sick if you know how to play it properly. It's excellent. The other one is one circle. I'm clicking on them so people can see it because people don't know all these cards, what they are, what they're called. Circle, you already know what it does. I'm gonna be super honest with you, but don't take my advice. If you guys like all the YCS formats, like Worldwide Champion decks and stuff, the top 30 and down Dark Magician decks that exist that have ever played, even one of my close friends was like 34th place or something like that in a regional, and then a lot of the guys that I've talked to, they did the YCS formats, and they reached like level, was it like 8th place, and the other one was 7th place. They only had one circle, so I mean, come on. So you have what is it called? Magician Salvation, and then one of these, the Despia Theater of the Branded. Basically, it's a fusion card, and it doesn't need to be Despia. It can be anything. It could be any. You can read all the effects, but it does other effects too. But it can bring back like a fusion from your graveyard back to the field, but it has to be Despia. But the main thing, it's a fusion spell card on the field. Like you can fuse. You play it up there, like it plays good with Dark Magician because you activate it, and it's like as long as they don't get rid of it, it's like having a Secrets of Dark Magic always constant. It's pretty sick. If you don't know by now, the Despia deck is a fusion deck. You have one Mystic Mind. Why not? I always teach people it's better to be OP, overpowering, than to lose. Believe me, like that's why a lot of people come to my channel, subscribe, because the one thing they notice that they don't see anywhere else out of the billion of subscribers, like I'll board out 4 or 5 negates on my opponent, going through like 2-3 negations, like fire with fire, and then on top of all of that, I'll be drawing like crazy. My hand will be full. And Z Holy does it too. But like I said, he was one of my students earlier this year, and he graduated. He's so incredible. In Master Duel, I don't know anybody on the planet that's better than him. He's so sick. He's so powerful. I've been trying to get him to play TCG so he can experience Dragoon and whatnot, like going through 4 negates, which is normal to me, that doesn't stop me, but I want to see how he does against that. But other than that, yeah, he's a really awesome guy. You guys check him out. Then after that, you have the 2 Eternal Souls. Why 2 Eternal Souls? Why not? Because you need the Dark Magician. After all, it is a Dark Magician deck. People who play 1 Circle and 1 Eternal, to be honest with you, they all say the same thing. They never see it. And you know what? They're right. But then at the same time, they're not that smart, because if you never see it, why play it? Just cut the cards. But you can tell they don't know what they're doing because they never see them. It doesn't help them, and they won't cut the cards. Do you understand mentally what I'm saying? That's that's how ignorant they are. They put cards that do nothing and they won't cut them. If you play the version that I tell you, you see the cards and they play. So here's a card that I've been telling people for about 4 months to play. I was one of the first people to incorporate it and to teach people how to play it. It protects the skill drain. It's called Imperial Custom. It protects the skill drain. It protects the Eternal Soul for the first time. You don't even need Dragon Knight. Now this card takes care of it. So if they try to Lightning Storm or just anything you can think of, Feather Duster, what is it called? Pinkertops, anything that you can think of, Phoenix, you just trigger this and it's a bait. Even the Eldritch, when they try to pop cards, they basically target your turn soul, target your skill drain, and then finally the hope is like, they're so happy because there's hope at the end of the tunnel. And then bam, you hit them with the Imperial Custom, boom, they just surrender. It's so hilarious. Yeah, so with that, like, all of your traps, they're not going anywhere because as soon as they hit it, guess what? Whatever effect they used, it's burned because this says no continuous trap counts can be destroyed on your side of the field. So there's a way to out it. There's monsters that send cards back to your hand. It'll escape it. But doesn't matter because you have other cards on the field. It's not like you have Imperial Custom. It's the only card you have. It's a Dark Magician deck, man. You have 4 to 5 negates on board with my profiles. You'll be drawing 20 cards your first turn. So, yeah, Imperial Custom is so OP if you know what you're doing. The skill drains are not going nowhere. Neither is the Eternal Souls. You don't even need a Dragon Knight no more. If you're struggling to bring one out, this will do the job until he comes onto the field, or Dragoon. Then obviously the right hand. Also, the way that the right hand is played is don't negate any spell. Let him play whatever spell he wants. But when he plays the spell you don't like a feather, or he plays a specific spell that you don't like. There's a spell, like he plays 3 spells and you don't care, and then he plays the 4th one and you don't like it. That's when you trigger Eternal Soul. So Eternal Soul comes to the field, and then the right hand or the left hand trigger that says the first spell trap is burned. And you could be arguing like, well, that already happened. No. The card says while you have a spellcaster on the field. So it only counts when the spellcaster is there. So when it comes on board, you can Omni negate. People don't know that. No one's ever taught you this. You never heard of it. You never will, because people don't know how to play cards. They don't know how to play cards. And believe me, like, I've let people play like 2 spells, and then as soon as they play Feather, because they're thinking like, oh, he has nothing in the back, I baited it. Now I'm gonna play Feather or Storm. Guess what I do? Boom, I chain Eternal Soul, Dark Magician on the field from the graveyard, and then the right hand or the left hand or both trigger. And guess what? As soon as you trigger it, that Lightning Storm, like that, it used to be like $160 card. It's burned. If you think I'm lying, come to my channel, check it out. I do it live all the time. I do it in Master Duel, I do it in TCG, I do it all over the place. It's hilarious. You don't need Dragoon to Omni negate. You just gotta know combos to Omni negate. Omni negate means you negate what you want. Something you don't like, you negate it. And something you do like, you let it go. That's Omni negation, like Dragoon. So you have a Omni negate with the left and the right and the Eternal. But you have to have a Dark Magician in the graveyard. People don't know that. And like I said, you'll never be taught any of this, none of the sequences, because no one knows. That's why they don't teach you. They don't know how to play Dark Magician. And and people don't know this is the budget version. And this budget version is killing all the top tier decks. So the other one is there can only be one. This card is a meta killer. It kills top tier too, like Drytron, everything, even the mirror match against Dark Magician. You just bait them. Let them summon like Rod. Let them summon like anything in any deck that you can think of that exists. Let them summon one of them. and then just bait them. Boom, trigger it. They're locked. And if you don't want them to break out a lock, then don't kill their monster. Just keep drawing and set up more negations on your board. Like draw like another 6 or 7 and establish a 4 to 5 negate board. Then kill this monster. That way, whatever he has in the back, you have all these 5 negations. You could just walk all through it. And that's the way that it works. They're locked. A lot of people, they don't even want to deal with it. As soon as they see the card, they just surrender. I'm notorious for that. Like most of my duels are just lost connection and surrender. Why? Because they don't know what they're doing. And when they duel me, like I've had people that dueled like 17 duels in a row won. And I have some recent ones like the Dino deck and the Altergeist. Those guys had like I think the Dino had like 12 or something like that, 9 or 12 duels, 1-0 loss, and he challenged me. Boom! I murked the guy. It was such a weak deck, and people are like, "What do you mean weak deck?" Well, those decks, they kill you, but they don't kill me. To me, they're weak. Like people are scared of Drytron. Drytron is one of the weakest deck. When I do a Drytron, I feel like I'm dueling a rogue deck. It doesn't do anything, and they just surrender. And people come to my channel and they leave in the comments, dude, I love it. I love when you kill the Drytron. They love it. They love it because those decks are weak. So then you go to other Dark Magician channels and they struggle and they make a tier list. Oh, this deck's most powerful because it was on the YCS. So like, yeah, right. You just got to play the right cards. Those are the weakest. Are the YCS decks weak? No, they're actually extremely powerful. That's why they won. I mean, they're variations that play here at the locals. Like, people to win against some of my decks, they're going to have to side deck stuff. You already know what they're going to side deck against Dark Magician. But I am already prepared for it. I already have side deck for it. It's so hilarious. So then the final card is a Skill Drain. Skill Drain can be substituted for the other, Dark Ruler No More, because basically it does the same thing, right? So I played 3 Skill Drain, but for this build, I actually just put 1. But I'm going to be honest with you, the only reason why I did that is because some of the guys were asking for a budget version of this deck. So people don't understand, I'm getting asked like 13 to 15 different requests and questions every day. So if you add it in a month, like, you know what, in a week, 13 to 15 times 7, you know, whatever that is, and then times 4 for a month, it's a lot of requests. Too much stuff's going on. So just bear with me, bear with the channel. I'm trying to accommodate to everyone. And there's a budget because you already know the Dark Ruler No Mores are now common, and I gave some away free on my channel. And then the Skill Drains, you play 2 of them. It's supposed to be 2 Skill Drains and cut the Dark Ruler No More, and that's fine. And then you have the extra deck. I'm gonna click on them real quick so you'll read them. Obviously no Anaconda, right? And this is the card that I've been teaching people since, I don't know, 7 months or so. Before any other channel that existed on YouTube out of the millions, I'm the one who taught it to people. I'm the one that's been playing it. I'm the one that's already almost a year, and I haven't played Revs. I don't play Anaconda. And I was able to special summon on first turn and win a bunch of duels. And guess what? That format that I had, it was a prophecy. That's exactly how people play the deck now. They don't play the ref. Did you take out the Red Eyes Black Dragon? There's a brick. And you know, you think I'm lying? Go to my former videos and read the comments. There's people hating on me for every card that I play. As long as I play it, they hate me. And they say I don't know what I'm doing. And my channel's full of me killing like all the Platinum 1 decks. They're jokes. And then when you go to their channel, they can't even beat a rogue deck. And then all they do is brick hands. My videos are full of sometimes I get brick hands, and guess what? I am brick and I win the duel. And I have videos where they tell you how to make a brick hand into a top tier hand. You won't find any other content. Nobody will ever tell you that as long as you live, because nobody knows how to do it. They don't know how to play Dark Magician. So I've gone long enough. Here's the extra deck. And with that being said, Dark Magic attack.